Hello children, happy Monday. Hope you've had a nice weekend. And for those of you that celebrated Father's Day with your fathers, obviously I hope you enjoyed your time together. I spent most of it watching the football, so I was enjoying that really, to be honest. Just so happy it's back. There's only 4 weeks left now of the school year, so not long left to go. I know some of you will be coming back in soon, possibly, to meet your teachers for next year, so that's exciting for you as well. I know over the next few weeks we are going to be doing a bit of work maybe about going into your new classes, so that's what we'll be setting on here. Don't worry though, if you're not going back into school, we are going to continue to set year 4 tasks for the week, so we'll do that right up until the end, so you'll have your work to do. And it's important because you're practicing those skills that you wouldn't be practicing were we not doing it. So anyway, that's enough of me talking. I think I've already said it, but I hope you're all well. Let's share my screen and get on with today's lesson. So, short video today. Very short video. Well, I always say that and I always end up talking more. So, settings. So, Mission Possible is set in London. And this is just a quick recap of our story. It's set in London, and the abandoned treasure is found, the sacred treasure is found on an abandoned riverboat on the Thames. And that's obviously the famous river that runs through the city of London. Now, the author's chosen this abandoned riverboat at night because they thought it would be a scary setting. And obviously, when the characters go into that setting, you're worried for them. Had it been a cafe in the middle of the day, you wouldn't get so worried for them. It looked like an easier mission, but the fact that it's on an abandoned riverboat at night, that is always going to be a bit more intimidating and exciting for the reader as well. It makes you want to read on. As soon as you find out that it's an abandoned riverboat at midnight, you're thinking, oh, what could happen here? So what we're going to do today is to talk about settings. Then you're going to think of a few for your writing that you may use. So you're going to be coming up with 3 different types of settings, and I want 10 examples of each. Normal everyday settings, so that could be, as you can see, I've done a few examples. I'd expect 10 in there when it's done, 10 in there and 10 in there. 10 scary settings, I've put 2 in for you. A disused railway tunnel at night. I think that's day, judging by the light coming at the bottom. But it could be a light at the end of the tunnel and it's not daylight, which would be eerie as well. An abandoned fairground, a fairground in the day, could be an unusual setting, maybe even a normal one for some people, but an abandoned fairground at night would definitely be scary. And then we've got unusual settings, so another planet, which we have kind of touched on, I suppose, with the alien work that we've done on Zargon 10, and a fairground. That would be an unusual one because it's not one you usually see every day, unless of course you work at one. Now, before we do that, I was just going to talk a little bit more about them. So your normal everyday settings are settings such as kitchens, school, places that you'd normally go to every day. Harry Potter, some of you might recognise this as being 4 Privet Drive, which is from Harry Potter. And I think what J.K. Rowling does so well is she mixes the ordinary world, the normal everyday, and then you see the magic coming through as well. So it makes the story more believable, as if Hogwarts really does exist, because there's still the everyday elements going on. Like it takes place in London, but obviously the station, they have to go to the train station. I don't know whether you've read this now, but they go to a train station, which is normal, but the platform is 9 3/4 and have to run through a wall to get to it. So she does it really well, where she mixes the normal with the not so normal. But anyway, there's a house, a normal one. Scary settings. I was thinking of books that had scary settings in, and obviously it's easier if they've been turned into films because I can actually find pictures of them. So that's Hogwarts, which at night is pretty scary. It looks quite nice there actually, but at night time it can be scary, and obviously in the day it's not intimidating. It's a nice place. I don't know whether you've ever visited a castle, but castles are the same, because if you visit a castle in the day, it's nice to walk around and have a look. But if you ever get the chance to go and visit a castle at night, go and have a look around the castle at night, because just by doing that, you'd be able to write a fantastic setting about a castle at night. Completely different place at night, very spooky at night. And the other one that I chose, I know some of you may have watched the film, which is in The Lord of the Rings. I don't think you should have, because I think it's a 12A. It might be a 12, but actually I can't remember. It could be a PG. But anyway, this is Mordor, and this is where the Eye lives, the baddie in the story. And yeah, not a very nice looking place at all. And I think that is in the daytime, to be honest. It's got the volcano spewing lava behind it with smoke erupting up from it as well. So there's two settings that are from books that, and I don't know whether you've noticed, but bad things always happen at night. Always happen at night. If you're reading a book and it's night time, more often than not, something bad's going to happen. Or if the weather is thunder and lightning. If the weather's thunder and lightning in a book and at night, I guarantee you, almost all of the time, something terrible happens. And I suppose that's the same for films as well. So when you are doing these scary settings today, think about what time of day it is, because if it's at night, it's generally more scary for the reader. And finally, we've got unusual settings. Now, the two that I went for, actually, I've thought of some good examples that we've read books from. So we've got The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe here, which obviously when they go into Narnia, it's completely covered in snow. The fact that it's in a wardrobe for a start, but this is more about Narnia. It's complete winter, and there was just a lamppost in the middle of a clearing, which was a very strange place just to have a lamppost in the middle of a forest. So, and that was, of course, where Lucy met Mr. Tumnus. So your story may eventually have an unusual setting when you come to writing it, but I'd like you to, like I said, list some today. That might be the hardest one to think of today, actually. And then obviously Mount Merapi, which is the mountain in Indonesia. And that appears in Philip Pullman's book, The Firework Maker's Daughter. Now, obviously, that looks quite everyday there, but a volcano is a strange place, a strange setting, and that's obviously where our main character, Leela, has to visit. She goes in and she meets the fire demon. So there were some unusual settings there. Okay, so I've just talked you through the settings. I want you to make sure, well, you've got to add 8 to each one, so there's 10 in each one. If you want to do more, that's absolutely fine. I've got no worries about that. Try and think about the books that you've read in the past. That's the easiest way that it's going to be done. Of course, films help too, but it's a shame if you're thinking about films instead of books. Because if you're reading often, as you still should be, you'll have enough settings in your head to finish this quite quickly, actually. So, best of luck to your children. I said it wasn't going to be a long video. I don't think it has been too long. Have a great day and look after yourselves. Goodbye.